welcome to Midnight Slumber. I am your host, Zach Miller. Join me as we take a journey through the alternate realities that take place after midnight. This week, our story is about a family trying to get food. However, everything about this lunch expedition is just wrong. Enjoy the story, Rude Food. My wife, father-in-law, and I walk into a small sandwich shop to order lunch for the rest of the family. I told them the food here is excellent and fast, which is helpful for me as I am on my lunch break. This place has been around for a while. You can tell by the cracked red paint on the walls and the worn tables that lay around. There are already a few people seated at the tables. One group of 2 people have their food and seem to be enjoying it, whereas the other 2 tables with 3 and 4 people sitting at them seem bored and are still waiting on their food. The man behind the counter is new. He's young, probably in his freshman or sophomore year in college. This tall employee is wearing their signature blue shirt with a red apron. He also looks confused and annoyed. By the counter, there is a long glass pane with images of all the sandwiches. We approach the glass pane from the side, looking at all the choices, and try to decide what we should order for everyone. I know what the 3 of us want, so I tell the employee part of our order. It's strange, though, as he doesn't look at me or even put our order into the system. It's like he's blatantly ignoring me. Then another person who just walked in walks right up to him and starts placing their order. He perks up and smiles at them as he puts in their request. As they walk away, I step in front of him where they were standing, and I try to place our order again. But this time, he turns his back on me, heading for the sandwich prep station. I see a metallic bell at the register, and I ring it. He turns back towards me with a confused look on his face, which must be contagious as I have that same look, wondering if he just wanted us to step into the right place. Either way, I feel like he should have acknowledged us. I finally get to place our order, and he still seems confused. But once the transaction is finished, he smiles and nods at us. We walk away and go to sit down at one of the worn wooden tables. The chairs are like tall bar stools and made of the same light wood as the table. I sit down and immediately check my phone to make sure I haven't missed a phone call or anything. Thankfully, nothing has come through. Relief washes over me, and I look up to see my wife sitting across from me, smiling. Her dad is still at the counter, talking with the guy who took our order. I wonder why he is talking to him, but my wife gets my attention and tells me we need to go pick up our niece. We wave to her dad as we walk out and rush to my car since it is raining. We pull out of the small parking lot and head into the main parking area of the mall. It's a little hard to navigate, not because of the roadway, but because of the terrible parking jobs. Some cars and SUVs are parked over the line or at strange angles. One long truck sticks out of a parking space and deep into the road. Thankfully, no one has parked on the other side, so I can drive through the spaces to get around. Once we navigate the maze of terrible parking, we come upon the brightly colored blue and green toy store. Our niece and one of my wife's friends stands out on the sidewalk under the big bright neon toy store sign. The sign is big enough to act as a giant umbrella for them, keeping them nice and dry during this downpour. As I pull up to the sidewalk, they quickly jump in, slamming the door shut. My wife's friend has a big bag of toys with her. Most of these toys are clearly for our niece, but some are for all the other kids. She does have a new big pink teddy bear with her. The smile on this bear makes it look as if it is having the best day of its life. I start to pull away when a grandmother steps out in front of us. She is far enough away that I can stop in time. However, she is taking her sweet time trying to cross the street. It's not that she is so old she needs help. No, she's just on her phone. She doesn't even look our way as she slowly strolls along. Even as we sit here waiting on her, we see a big box truck slowly back into a parking spot off to our right. As the truck backs up, it speeds into the concrete barrier with its back tires, causing the truck to bounce forward. The truck driver sticks his head out and looks utterly embarrassed that we saw this and speeds off. Which at this point, the old lady also reaches the other side of the street. I slowly roll away past the stores thinking to myself, why is everyone so bad at parking? As we head back, all of them begin singing and chanting a joyous tune, which causes the rain to clear up and the sun to come out. It doesn't take long for us to get back, but there is a massive truck taking up 3 of the open parking spots. There is one small spot, but before I try to squeeze into it, I let everyone out. They all rush into the store, leaving the toys behind with me. I slowly pull my car into a small spot at the very front of the store. This parking spot is so tiny that my car almost doesn't fit in it. I have to squeeze my way out of my car since the vehicles are parked so close together. Once I'm wedged free, I make my way back to the sandwich shop. I pull out my phone to check the time and notice that I have a few missed calls from work as well as a text or two. The clock on my phone shows we have been gone for over an hour. I don't understand how that can be, as it only felt like a few minutes. Before I enter the shop, I pass by a person sitting outside on a bench. They look bored waiting for their food. As soon as I step into the building, I see the clerk working away. The people in the store are the same. The mood has turned sour. I can tell we are all still waiting on our food, so I ask the guy if it'll be ready soon. He smiles with a big grin and just laughs at me. Annoyed now, I ask him why it's not ready. He looks down on me condescendingly and says, "You got a big order." Confusion crosses my face, and he shows me the never-ending list of items. I take a step back and decide to take a seat and wait. I figure I can hang out with everyone and call work back. As soon as I sit down and open my phone, the screen lock won't let me in. I try everything I know to get the phone to open, but nothing works. I lean back against the wall as I sit on the bench in frustration. The TV in the corner starts to flicker with an awful sound. The kids ask if we can change the channel to some cartoons. I make my way over to this old box TV and change the channel. The kids shout and cheer as their favorite cartoon comes on. However, as soon as I take my hand off the knob, a large hand slaps down on my shoulder. I get spun around and a giant troll of a man stands before me. He tells me to get out, that we are not welcome here. His eyes glare into mine with a fiery red glow. I can tell we have upset him somehow, and the rest of the people in here look at us in agreement. I'd understand why they are upset, because we ordered our food last. The man grunts in an animalistic way, letting me know he is displeased with my lack of departure. I start to say something back when my family gets up and heads out with their heads hanging low. I follow, but something in my stomach just doesn't feel right. We paid for all this food, and I will not let my family get bullied into starvation, even if everyone there is a rude giant. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode. Please leave a comment and check out our social media on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We would love to hear your thoughts of tonight's episode. I'm your host, Zach Miller, and thanks for listening. Have a good midnight slumber.